Good morning, Broncos fans, and welcome to the Legends of Mile High Broncos season preview. We're going to have fun today with that because I'm going to make some predictions. I'm going to talk about who's going to be the MVP of the team, what the record's going to be, all that sort of stuff. So, thank you for joining this morning, bright and early. Hope you have your coffee ready. I do. As we start to dig into this, but first, I'm going to say hello to a few folks in the chat because we've already got Dr. Van Norstrand coming in saying, how about those Chiefs? Hey, it was nice to see that the Chiefs lost last night. And the Broncos really, really need to capitalize on that because the Chiefs aren't going to be down for long. That's just the way it is. They're a good team, good quarterback, well coached. So if they're going to start out 1-0, the Broncos, if they have any aspirations of moving up into that higher echelon, winning the division or anything, they need to capitalize this week because every game really will count this year from my perspective. So let's hope that 0-1 Chiefs is a kind of a predictor of the future. So we'll see how the Broncos do this Sunday versus the hated rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost said Oakland Raiders. It's been so long. That's funny. I've been watching him. I watched the Broncos face the Raiders when they were the Los Angeles Raiders, Oakland Raiders, and now the Las Vegas Raiders. So anyway, hopefully I don't slip up too much with that. But thanks for coming in, Dr. Van Nostrand. Appreciate it. It's good to see that the Lions could take care of business, right? I mean, I kind of joked a while back about how on Mile High Insiders about how they haven't done anything since 1957. So hopefully they, this win will, make them feel a little bit better about their season. So we'll see. But kudos to the Lions for pulling out a 1-point victory in Arrowhead, which is not easy. Jeremy Shantz coming in this morning saying, "Morning, Thomas. Nick Wright apparently got a tattoo to double down on his 20-0 Chiefs prediction. Didn't even get to 1-0. Sounds about right." Jeremy, that's funny. I did not realize that he actually said that. I don't really listen to him. It's kind of strange that Nick Wright obviously gets paid way more than I do to do this, and a lot of us. And we're supposed to be not biased, right? And it's hard for me. I've been a Broncos fan my whole life, but I try to say it like it is, right? I really do. And sometimes I do get my orange color glasses, but he always has his Chiefs glasses on. It's crazy how biased he is in a media outlet that he is on. It's crazy to think that he gets paid a lot for that. And anytime that he's wrong, I think that's wonderful. But I don't really listen to him. But it's funny to hear it, and just to see that, like I said, he's so biased when it comes to the Chiefs that people really relish the fact when he's wrong. So I enjoy it, and we all should enjoy it now because the Chiefs aren't going to be down for long. They really aren't. They're a good team, well coached, like I said. So I hope they are, but I'm not going to count on it. That's for sure. David Youngkin coming in this morning also saying, "Morning, everyone. I think what I am looking to see is how well the team works together, less sacks and penalties, and for God's sakes, no false starts at home." David, you're absolutely right. Looking back at last year, it was obviously they weren't prepared, especially for the first game of the season. And I think you're going to see something totally different. The Broncos have a new attitude with their new head coach. I think they're ushering in a kind of a new era, hopefully bringing back that winning tradition to the Mile High City when it comes to the Broncos. I think you're going to see a different team. They're going to make mistakes. It's the first game of the season. The starters haven't played together a lot. So, there probably will be some mistakes, but you're right. No dumb mistakes, no false starts at home, no dumb penalties, no ridiculous, unnecessary roughness penalties or unsportsmanlike conduct or something that, can really hurt the team. And they're going to need to play well. And because I hate to say, I've been saying the Raiders are, they're kind of a mess right now. they still are the Raiders and their rival, and they can come in and beat the Broncos at home because they've been doing it for the last few years. So you're right, David. I appreciate that comment coming this morning. So thank you. All right. I'm just, like I said, I'm always here by myself now. So I have to check Facebook. I have to do all the stuff on my own. So if I miss a comment, I'm sorry. But hopefully I can keep you entertained while doing all this stuff by myself. Dave Glassman's coming in. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders lose. What a great weekend it will be. Yeah, it would, man. That would be incredible. I would very much like to see the Broncos be the only AFC West team at 1-0. And we got a lot of people coming in. Mark Hoynat's coming in. How about those last place Chiefs? Love it. Yeah, awesome, awesome. I mean, it's great to kind of sit here and revel in it, because the Chiefs have been so good. So anytime we can revel in it, that's amazing. Dom's coming in. Good morning, Thomas Scott and Broncos fans. Just me, but I will pass it on to Scott. He's actually doing something kind of cool. I think with his Falcons podcast, he's doing some national stuff, which is amazing. So you should check that out. But thanks for coming in, Dom. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And of course, F the Raiders, bring them on. Denver Broncos for life. Absolutely. Let's keep this energy going. And I really hope that the Broncos don't disappoint us in their game one of this season for sure. Keith Brugman coming in. Another podcaster out there. Go check out his podcast. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it, Keith. It probably come back to me, but put it in the chat. I'll give it a shout out. But Keith's coming in saying first season opening loss for Mahomes, first season opener interception for Mahomes. Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting with the whole Mahomes interception thing. People have done have looked back at a lot of his passes and some of it's luck, but it wasn't his fault that he threw that pick six, right? Because I mean, Tony just kind of dropped it and went right into the defender's hands. But hey, that's what happens. I mean, it's a team game. You can't, it's an interception for him. That's what it goes down as. So, yeah, it's nice to see that they didn't start off hot. And, I want them to struggle for a while. It would be nice to see them struggle for a while. And maybe they will if Kelsey doesn't come back and Chris Jones still holds out till week 8. That would be quite amazing. All right, we got Lawrence coming in with Facebook stars. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it, Lawrence, and thanks for being here. I mean, you're here almost every morning, so I really appreciate that. Saying, what up, good guys? Good news is Andy can't read, and it was all Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, calls were so bad last night. It was funny. Did you see our own bad news? And Sierra trying to console Russ for being alone and finding God to help him. I kind of mad right now at the Broncos organization. Like, what's going on? Why does Russ feel like that? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that. People go up and down. It's not, you can't always be super positive like Russ. Sometimes you have a downtime, but I will say about the Chiefs, I do believe it was Andy Reid. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, there was a lot of stuff going on in that game, and I'm not gonna check that off as a bad team so far. Cause like I said, the Chiefs probably won't be down for long, and the Broncos have to capitalize. And if it was Eric Bieniemy, great. I mean, that's wonderful. But it's hard for me to believe that the Chiefs are going to be suddenly bad. Now, if they have a bunch of injuries and that starts to pile up, and Chris Jones doesn't come back, and Kelsey continues to be hurt, maybe they will struggle for a while longer. So, appreciate the support, Lawrence. Thank you. You give me a lot of support on here, so I really, really appreciate it. All right. We got a lot of people in the chat this morning, so I'm going to say hi to a few more. Dominic Martin coming in saying, hey, Tom, nice hat, man. Great to catch your show. Mile High Legends rocks. Go Broncos. Yeah, I didn't prepare a Mile High Legend today, but I'm actually putting them all out there on social media from the past. So you can go back and listen to all the ones that I've done. They're slowly coming on, and I will bring them back again. I just, they take a little while to research and write up and think about how to tell the story. So I figured I would take up most of the time this morning with this preview. So I didn't do the Mile High Legend, but thank you. And the hat's sticking around, right? The fans said they wanted the hat. I was wearing it at training camp. And so they said to keep wearing it. So I'm going to continue to wear it on Mile High Legend. And, I grew up kind of a cowboy anyway. I grew up on a ranch, so it kind of fits and it works with the mustache. So I'm gonna keep it around until I get tired of it, if I ever do. So thanks, Dominic, for being here. Appreciate it. And Dom's coming in here with some historical facts here. Broncos have 15 division titles. KC has 13. Broncos can't let KC tie them for the division titles. Broncos have to stop that. Yeah, it's true. And, they're, they've had the Broncos number. It's got to change, but everything's cyclical. So you go back and you look in the 60s, the Raiders, the Chiefs, everybody pretty much had the Broncos number back then. They were a bad team. But as they got better, then you got to see the Broncos have win streaks, not 15 games in a row, but I think they were like 17-2 or something at some point. I mean, they had longer win streaks against the Chiefs when the Chiefs were down and the Raiders and everything, especially under Shanahan. They had the Raiders number. So it comes back around. So it's we'll see. Hopefully this is the start of the new era, actually. So we shall see, but it starts on Sunday, right? They've got to get this thing going on Sunday. James Dasso, I think I'm saying that right, says, "Go Broncos" from Marion, Ohio. Well, welcome in from Ohio. I'm glad you're here this morning. Thanks for showing up and being on the live chat. Really appreciate that. We got Facebook user coming in. Sorry, I don't know who it is, but appreciate you coming in, saying morning. It's Friday, baby. Let's go. Smash that like button and share, guys. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. I appreciate any support. It's fun doing the show. I do it solo for a reason, so that I can just, do the things that I want to do. And, it's fun, but I have to fill the time. So sometimes that can be a little bit difficult, but I appreciate you coming and saying that. We've got Elias coming in. What about all the false starts the ref did not call? Yeah, there's a lot of buzz about that. Obviously they don't care. So they're not going to, they didn't call it. I don't think they will. I think, they let the Eagles get away with it before. I mean, it's one of those things that, if they're going to let it go, the defense is just going to have to find a way to beat that. And it's an offensive minded league now. They don't care. They want the offense to be better than the defense. Obviously, they've changed the rules for a long time to facilitate that. And I mean, maybe they'll do something about it. But I mean, this one was like really obvious. I mean, he's moving before the snap, right? He needs to be set. If he's going to jump the snap count a little bit, fine. But don't line up super far back like he was, which is illegal. And don't be moving before the snap. You need to be set. So those are two things that they have to crack down on. But jumping it a smidge early, that they probably are just going to let that slide. Michael Ronquillo coming in. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for always being here and always showing support for the show. Really appreciate it. Saying good morning, Thomas, on Legends of Mile High. Go Broncos and buck 'em. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for this Facebook stars. And we got Miguel coming in with Facebook stars too. So thank you. Toast to you, Miguel, and everybody else that's giving me support this morning. Saying good morning from Cuesta, New Mexico. Denver got a great start last night and need to take care of business on Sunday. Absolutely. I'm in the Albuquerque here. I'm up in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Hopefully going to move up to Denver next year. It would be nice. We really are planning on doing that, getting into Broncos country for the first time. I've always been a Denver fan, kind of behind enemy lines, so to speak. Been in Seahawks country and been in Patriots country for a long time, and now we're in New Mexico's is definitely Broncos country. It feels like it anyway, even though Arizona, the Cardinals are closer. But yeah, thank you. So it'd be kind of fun. Like there's a lot of New Mexico Broncos fans to have like a New Mexico get together so we can all watch a game somewhere. It'd be fun. But thanks for coming in, Miguel, and thank you for the support. Really appreciate that. All right, so let's get we got the Chiefs loss out of the way, which is great. And so I will start to give out some of my predictions and whatnot for the season and why I think that. And so that's let's start on that. So first of all, I really think that I've been saying the Broncos are a 10-7 team. I think they can get better than that. They can also get worse, obviously, with some bad luck. But 10-7 is my prediction. But like I said on Mile High Insiders, which is a show that I'm on with Luke Patterson. So check that out. It's a fun show. We have a blast. We really have a good rapport, which is awesome. So Luke's a friend of mine, and it's fun to podcast with him. So check it out. But anyway, I said 10-7, but I also said that if Vance Joseph can prove, and I've been saying this for a long time, if he can show that he can put his players in the right position to make a play when it matters. Now, I don't care if he's, in the top 10, on stats, the defense. If he's top 15, but his defense is making that play when the other teams is coming down to go, with the go ahead score, the tying score, and they make a play when it matters, then I'm going to say they're going to have a better record. And if I see that happen on Sunday, this opening game, and I see the defense actually does that, then you might see me change my prediction. I don't want to have to do that, but I think it could be, that could factor in a game. That could be one more game that they're up. So, 10-7 is going to be a tight one to get into the playoffs. There was 4 teams last year that was, 10 wins or less that got in. One of them was a division winner. So I don't know, 10 games, probably not going to win the AFC West, but they may sneak into the playoffs at 10-7. And I hope they do, because I think you're going to see them get better as the season goes along, as long as they stay healthy. Once they start to gel and get more comfortable in these schemes, I think they'll get better. So excuse me. So I think that that would give them this second in the AFC West, second place. And I still, I know the Chiefs are 0-1, but they're still, they're the division titles, winners for a reason. They're a good team. Peter Milton's coming in from Singapore. Good evening from Singapore. Well, thank you, Peter, for being here this morning here, but in the evening there. So that's great. I hope you're having nice weather and things are. Things are going well out there in Singapore. So appreciate it. And thanks for supporting Broncos country worldwide. That's the thing, state of being, as Chad and everybody else on Mile High Huddle likes to say, state of being. Dom's coming in. There's a super group on Facebook for New Mexico Denver Broncos fans, Thomas. They watch the games at a sports bar during the season. I did not know that. Thank you, Dom, I appreciate that. That's maybe I'll look for it and see if I can find it, and maybe can show up to one of those games sometime. That'll be fun. Thanks for that, Dom. Gary Palmer coming in this morning with a super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Good morning, Thomas. And Broncos country says, let's hope for a win on Sunday. Go Broncos and buck 'em. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they, like I said, they have to take care of business now, because every game really matters. It really counts. I know that you can't win them all, although it has happened once in the past, but it has not happened since 72, I think it was. So, they just have to take care of business when it matters most. All right. And so what we have here next is the record prediction. Now, I think the MVP of this team is actually going to be Russell Wilson this year. He's going to be much better, and his play is going to matter to this team significantly. And he's going to put up some pretty big numbers. I think, obviously he's going to be the passing leader, but I'm predicting that he's going to have a completion percent around 66%. He's going to have around 4,100 yards and about 31 touchdowns and maybe 7 interceptions. That's my prediction. And that's a great season for him after having such a bad season the year before. It was his worst season of his career. So I'm actually excited to see what he can do. All right. And then the defensive player of the year, in my opinion, will be Patrick Surtain. I mean, he's the best player on the team. And his stats may not wow anybody when it comes to interceptions and things like that, but he's gonna be even better this year than he was last year, and he was the best defender on the team. So look for that. I don't know if his interception totals will be very high, but he's going to shut down the best receiver, which will, when anytime you can do that, you've helped the defense quite a bit. So Surtain's going to be the defensive player of the year in my mind. The offensive player of the year, obviously Russell Wilson, I've already picked him for MVP. It's going to be Courtland Sutton. And I say that because Sutton is really the only experienced, healthy player, right? I mean, Judy may play this weekend, may not. And I hope it's amazing if he does return that quick. But I think Sutton's going to have a big year. I think he's prepared. I think he's back to his same kind of mentality from before he hurt his knee, when he was a 50-50 ball king. So, and I'm actually, the reason I said, I think he's going to be the stats leader. I think that, in passing, he's going to have, I think he's got about 1,200 yards, right? Receiving and 8 touchdowns. That's my prediction. I hope so, because, see, that's what his trajectory was going to be before he hurt his knee. He's going to be a star in the league. So I think that's my prediction for Sutton. Now, the offensive rookie of the year, Marvin Mims. That guy is he's going to be better as a rookie than people think. I think he's going to contribute on offense significantly, and his returns are going to be very important to this team. So he's my offensive rookie of the year. Now I'm going to grab this question from Michael here before I keep going. Thomas, who is the X factor on offense and defense? That's a great question. X factor, that player who just kind of, maybe not the star, but that contributes when it matters, kind of thing. And I don't know if you mean for this season or for the game, but I'm going to give you the season prediction. So the X factor on offense, in my mind, it and I know people are probably going to be going to kind of like say this out of left field, but I think it's Adam Troutman. Adam Troutman is really starting to come into his own. I saw in camp he's a good pass catcher. He's all around kind of tight end. Nothing spectacular, but he has a good rapport with Russell Wilson, and you're going to see him. And I know Dulcich is like supposed to be the receiving king, right? But you're going to see Troutman catching balls out of the, when it matters, moving the chains. You're going to see him. He's going to be one of those unsung heroes that really, pick up his game when it matters most. So on offense, I think it's going to be Adam Troutman. There's obviously there's going to be stars, right? Trante Williams, Russell Wilson, Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. Those are all kind of players that you expect. But Adam Troutman, and I expect him to have a pretty big game, not huge, but a good game this weekend. I think that the Raiders are vulnerable into a kind of a tight end who's going to surprise them that they aren't expecting to game plan for. So Troutman's my guy on offense. On defense, man, Surtain is obviously a choice that you would pick as the best defender. Simmons is out there, but the pick that I'm going to make is Damari Mathis. I think he is in a prime position to have major stats because quarterbacks are going to shy away from Patrick Surtain, rightfully so. They're smart, and they're going to go after Damari Mathis. And this first game is huge. So I've got him as one of my key matchups for the preview coming up on Orange and Blue View on Saturday. So tune into that pregame show, Damari Mathis, and I'll explain why. But I think all season he needs to step up and show that he belongs in this league. I thought he did as a rookie. He really came on. Sophomore, I think he looks a little bit better. He's going to be that guy that has to do a lot of the kind of creating the interceptions along with Simmons and others, but because he's going to be attacked. So those are my kind of the X factors, people that aren't expected to be amazing, but they come through when it matters, and that's who I pick. So thanks for that. Appreciate that comment. It's great. Those are things that's why I love doing this live show, because I can grab those comments and really dig in and think about it. And I hadn't really thought about that until now, so I appreciate it. Defensive rookie of the year, I'm going with Drew Sanders. He's going to get playing time. He's going to get on the field. He's not going to be a starter right away, but he has that. He's definitely a rookie. I saw in preseason he's rookie, but he has that athleticism. As the year goes on, he's going to definitely make some splash plays. So he's going to get some notice, I think, on defense. So we'll see how soon that happens. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But I really like Drew Sanders, and once he kind of shakes off that kind of rookie feel and starts getting more comfortable, then he's going to have some good plays, right? He's going to make some good plays. We saw one in the preseason game. Now, my surprise players has been since the beginning has been Lloyd Cushenberry. And, I kind of got razzed for that pick early on, but it was kind of like out of necessity, right? He has to be a good player. And so far, he's lived up to the hype. Not what much hype, but me saying that he's got to be good. And he's looked pretty darn good. He's come around, and I think people are happy with his performance so far. And he's looked like one of the better offensive linemen on the team in preseason from my perspective and in camp. He's very solid. So Cushenberry is going to be that surprise guy. Now, rushing leader is obviously tough to pick because you're going to see a more of a platoon between Perrine and Javonte Williams. But I'm going to go with Javonte Williams. And I think he's going to have a nice season. It's not going to be huge. It's going to have around 900 yards and 6 TDs, which is good for a kind of a platoon system coming back from injury. But I think he's going to end up being the rushing leader. But I think it's not going to be till next year where he really comes on and has that over 1,000-yard season. Peter Middleton's coming in saying, my surprise will be Josie Jewell, the outlaw. He'll have a great season. Singleton will share with our rookie. Yeah, I mean, I've always been high on Josie Jewell. He's super intelligent. He's able to get the defense set up. He's got great instincts. His athleticism isn't quite up to par with some of these freak athletes, but it's not bad. I mean, you go look at his straight line speed. I don't care about that. That's a bonus, but his ability to go side to side and things like that are pretty solid. So Josie Jewell, if he can stay healthy, hopefully he'll have a big year. But yeah, it's great. I really like that one. And then Gabe Rox is coming in. I have high hopes for Riley Moss. If he can be a solid second or third cornerback, or secondary will be on another level. Same with Stearns at strong safety. Yeah, and his people have been hyping him up, and we haven't seen it yet because he's been injured, right? And he's going to take a little while to heal. He probably won't get in on this first game. It'd probably be a game or two down the road before we actually see him come on the field to play. But people are hyping him up, and that's Lance Sanderson's pick, I believe, to be the rookie, kind of defensive rookie of the year. He really liked him coming out of college. I still think it's Damari Mathis that has to step up and be that second guy. And, you can't really count on Moss coming in and being that second guy. But yeah, if he can really pop and be that third corner for the future, that's great. I actually really like McMillan. I think he really came on strong in preseason and in camp. He looked really good. He's a good third guy. I mean, I can't wait for Kwan Williams to get back. I like Sang Bassey, don't get me wrong. And I think his development was kind of stunted a little bit from that injury. He got those interceptions in preseason, earned his right to be on this team, earned his right to be that backup. But there were when I was watching preseason, there were some hiccups in his coverage. So he needs to clean that up. But yeah, Moss, if he can get on the field, it'd be great. So thanks, Gabe, for coming in. Appreciate that. Thank you. We got Mario coming in also saying, great hat. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. He says, I'm so ready for Sunday. Love seeing the Chiefs take that L last night. I got high hopes for Mathis. I think he will show he's a solid second cornerback. I agree with you. Solid second cornerback. He has to be. He can't be the weak link because you got one shutdown corner on the other side. He's got to step up and be that guy. So we'll see how that comes about. And we'll see it on Friday, right? Because I think that he's going to be another key, to that matchup. So tune in to our pregame show Saturday night at 6:00, Orange and Blue View. I'm going to be talking about Mathis and why he is a key and getting really into it. So tune into that and get your pregame show, right? I used to love watching the pregame shows, the national ones, but they're so high level now. They kind of just chuckle at each other's jokes, and it's not. We may laugh, but we're going to dig in. We're going to talk about some specifics so that you can watch it, and hopefully that those things come true in the game. So we'll see. But yeah, tune in for that. We got Peter Middleton asking the question: who's going to be the most disappointing player? I don't want anybody to be disappointing, man. I don't. I tell you, the guy that disappointed me the most was Marquez Callaway. I thought he was going to be like the fourth receiver, and he's not even on the team anymore. He's on a practice squad with the Raiders. So that was very disappointing. But on the team now, I hope there's nobody that disappoints. But there is going to be one. You're right. I I don't want it. I don't want it to be something. But if I have to judge right now, from what I've seen so far, the person that's may disappoint is Garrett Bowles. I'm sorry, he did not look very good in camp and preseason. He did get better, but I don't want it to be him. I hope he has a great season, but he could be a disappointing player for the team. And I don't want it to happen. I hope he's good because he has to be. But man, it seems like it's going to be somebody from the offensive line, right? It's either the right or left tackle. I think Ben Powers looked a lot better. He looked kind of rough that first outing, but yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be Bulls, but it could be. All right. So interception leader, Justin Simmons. He's actually, I think he might lead the league if he stays healthy with 8 interceptions. So Justin Simmons is going to be the interception leader again. Add to his total. He goes out there and gets he's a ball hawk. He had a lot of interceptions last year, and he missed, I think, 4 games. So I think he's going to get 8 this year, and people are going to start to really put him as the top safety. I know he's up in the top, but he's gonna open some eyes this year again. So stay healthy and pick off those balls for sure. And then for sacks, it's Jonathan Cooper. And I loved his rise, right? From I didn't know if he was going to, maybe not make the team this year. And now he's the starter. I love it. I think that, Gregory's injury history and not being on the field is going to hamper him. He's going to miss a few games like he usually does. Cooper is just going to be a solid player out there that goes and gets 10 sacks. And, I could go with Zach Allen on this too, and Zach Allen looked like a beast in camp, but he was in those preseason games, not as impressive as he was in camp. So I'm going to go with Cooper on that. So I think he leads the Broncos in sacks with 10. Not a huge total, but hey, that's a solid performance. Peter Middleton. Simmons to get some kind of award this season. Mathis, if he plays, will get plenty of opportunities to get interceptions, and they'll target him. Yeah, I mean, I think both of them have a huge opportunity to really jump up to that next level. So, yep, I agree with you. I hope Simmons gets an award. He would say he would like the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, which he's been a finalist for or a nominee for from the Broncos, but hasn't won it yet. That would probably be one that he really wants more than anything, other than a Super Bowl win. So let's hope. But yeah, both of them have a huge opportunity. All right, Michael Ronquillo's coming in. Great show today, Thomas, on Legends of Mile High. Go Broncos and Buckham. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I am going to wind down the show. So if I'm not seeing any more comments other than Michael coming in saying, let's go Broncos and beat the Raiders. Go Broncos. Absolutely. Definitely. They have to take care of business, and I hope they do. I'm rooting for them. I predicted they were going to win. I think it was 23-17. It's not going to be as close as the score looks. I think they'll be ahead, and the Raiders are going to kind of get something at the end to make it a little closer. But yeah, I don't believe in the Raiders right now. Not Josh McDaniels. He has a history of tearing it down, and that's what he's doing there. And it's kind of a mess. Yeah, so I hope it's a mess going into this game 1 and they just get stomped. So, and Peter's saying 31-13 Broncos. Wow. Yeah, I hope they're clicking on all cylinders. I think it's going to take a little while for the team to click on all cylinders and really start blowing people out right away. But I think as long as they stay healthy, I think you'll see some of those type of games later in the year. But I hope it's the game 1, man. The Broncos fans around the country and around the world need that. It's the history of the Broncos winning. They had a winning tradition for so long. To see this losing streak go on for 6 years, it's the Broncos need it, and they need it in game 1. They need some hype and some hope, and I hope we see it. And Michael's prediction is 35-17. Wow. All right. I hope it's a blowout. I really do. It's hard for me to jump on that yet, but man, if they do, I'm going to be a happy camper on Sunday. So, uh, anyway, I appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you so much for the support and the comments. It's been fun. And tune in. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday, pregame show, 6:00, last mile high huddle show before the big game on Sunday. We're going to give you all the things you need to know, and come in with the comments and tell us what you think too, because that's always fun. So appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, again, and have a great day. And let's all hope that the Broncos can pull out a victory on Sunday. So thank you very much. Have a great day.